I think I have a very logical mind, and that's why science has always appealed to me. I knew from when I was a PhD student that I wanted to be an academic because I loved teaching already as a PhD student, and I loved research. So I'm a molecular and cellular geneticist, which means that I study how genes control what goes on inside cells, and in particularly an area that we call cell signalling, so how cells send signals to each other. There's a couple of different contexts that I do that in. My major area has always been the olfactory system, or the sense of smell. I almost peaked too early. So I made a massive discovery as a postdoc, essentially, which is actually discover this family of odorant receptor molecules. It opened up a big field, and it then became super competitive, right? So the way science works, someone makes a breakthrough and then everyone jumps on, right? And so it became super competitive at that point. And so that was quite challenging for my first period back here in Australia as an early career researcher here. Suddenly I was working on this thing, but all these big labs around the world were now working on it too. So one of the things I really learnt was that, to be successful in the current research climate, you have to become broader, you have to become more collaborative. You can't just focus on one narrow problem. I'm still most proud of this big discovery I made as a postdoc. It was something that when I changed fields from my PhD to my postdoc, and I chose to go into an area where we didn't know anything, right? I wanted to study the sense of smell. We knew nothing about the molecules. I can still remember sitting in this little microscopy room at Yale with the other postdoc who was doing this with me. The first time we did this experiment to show that these genes we found were expressed in the neurons in the fly that smell, essentially. And we're looking at this down the microscope. And so the day that we realised that we'd found them, do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's still the thing I'm most proud of, because it was a big leap. It was a very risky experiment. You've really got to pursue things that you enjoy and you love, even if you think they may not be the safest career or the highest earning career. It's amazingly different to have a job that you enjoy.